Matte gradient on the back of this phone. Fingerprint sensor right there in the middle. 4 cameras set up there in the back. And yeah, it does look like something Samsung is doing right now. On the right hand side, you've got the power by BLU. Now, just so you know, I bought this phone with my own funds. Some of the main specs on this one is a 6.7 inch Full HD display, 2400 by 1080 resolution. This one's got a large 5000 milliamp hour battery. This has to be one of the cheapest phones you can get with wireless charging. It also has 30 watt fast charging. You can get this charged up to 50% in just 20 minutes charging. And it also comes with Android 11, MediaTek Helio G90 processor, 128 gigabytes of storage, and 6 gigabytes of RAM. They're advertising 3 days battery life with this, so we're definitely gonna have to test that out. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we've got. Nice thing about BLU phones, they always pack in a lot of stuff. I mean, when's the last time you saw headphones that actually came in the box with a phone? A really big charging brick here. SIM card, micro SD card removal tool, USB-C to USB-A charging cable. Nice little sticker they throw in, user manual. And apparently these guys are making their own cases. You can see the BLU logo down there. And they figure, hey, why don't we throw in a tempered glass screen protector while we're at it? So as far as what's included in the box, yeah, you're definitely getting your money's worth on this one. I'm definitely liking the matte gradient on the back of this phone. Fingerprint sensor right there in the middle. 4 cameras set up there in the back. And yeah, it does look like something Samsung is doing right now. On the right hand side, you've got the power and volume buttons. You've got a dedicated button here on the side for the Google Assistant and your SIM card micro SD card tray. Speaker and USB-C charging port there on the bottom. And yes, this one does have a headphone jack. It's actually got a pretty nice wallpaper on here. It also appears to have a really thin screen protector on here. The only reason I noticed is there's a little bubble up here in the corner. I mean, I'd probably just peel that off and put the tempered glass one on, but that's just me. So you can see here, it's only using about 10% of the 128 gigabyte storage. This is on Android 11, and to be honest, I kind of like their almost stock Android, but then they sort of customize it a little bit. The notification shade, the screen brightness, everything just looks nice and polished on here. It's still got quite a few updates loading in the background here. Overall performance actually seems pretty decent. I'll show you what all the apps look like when you swipe up from the bottom. I kind of like how they're putting everything in circles. Keeps everything sort of unified there. Up in the notification shade, you've got most of your typical stuff like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, flashlight. Then you've also got super screenshot, auto rotate, battery saver. They even throw in calculator. You've also got nearby share, screen record, camera, and alarm. Looks like they've got some kind of widget on here. I think I'll just remove that. Let's go ahead and test out the speakers real quick, just so you get an idea of what they sound like. Okay, speaker could be a little bit louder on this. Unfortunately, you only get one speaker at the bottom. It's always so much better once they put a speaker up here by the earpiece, but you gotta keep in mind, this is considered a budget device. Let's go ahead and try the cameras out real quick. You're gonna get a 48 megapixel lens on here and a depth sensor, 5 megapixel wide angle, plus a macro lens. And then you get a 16 megapixel selfie camera. In the camera app, it's pretty simple here. You've got video, photo, portrait, and more. And then in more, you've got night mode, pro mode, 108 megapixel. Then you also have GIF, beauty, panorama, slow motion, time lapse, intelligent scanning, and macro. So yeah, you got a lot of options here. And yeah, it looks like it's gonna take a little bit to process that 108 megapixel. Okay, so for some reason it puts images upside down. Can't say I've ever seen that one before. 108 megapixel one looks good though. Video quality does go up to 4K resolution, but you can also choose 1080p, 720p, or 480p if you don't want it taking up all your storage. And then up to 1080p on the selfie camera. Here's a few samples of photos and video just to give you an idea of what to expect from the BLU G91 Pro. I gotta say, the photos I got from the cameras on here look really good. Not only just for a budget device, but just for phones in general. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but some of these photos, I could say, hey, this came from my Galaxy S21 Plus, and you would think, okay, yeah, I could see that. I mean, they're actually that good. This is exactly why I always say, if you want to use a tablet for Zoom meetings, don't, just use your phone. They just put better resolution cameras and better quality cameras in phones versus tablets. And that is definitely the case with the BLU G91 Pro. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this. Now, as far as battery life goes on this phone, it's actually pretty good. Didn't last quite as long as I thought it would, but it did last about 8.5 hours before dying in my battery drain test. Now, keep in mind, that's at 100% screen brightness. So if you turn that down, then yeah, obviously it's gonna last longer. But their claims of 3 days battery life with this, I don't think I agree with that. Maybe 2 days. And then just keep in mind, wireless charging does work really good on this phone, but it's not gonna be nearly as fast as if you just use the 30-watt fast charger that's included with the phone. Oh, and that case that comes with it does not work with the wireless charging. No, unfortunately, when it comes to gaming, you can't get Asphalt 9. And I think it's something to do with the processor being a MediaTek versus Qualcomm. I'm not 100% sure on that, but you can get Asphalt 8, and that plays pretty smooth on here. I also tested PUBG Mobile, and that looked really good on here. You get HD graphics, high frame rates, very good performance for a budget device like this. I'm probably gonna have to do a comparison of this phone to some of the other ones I've reviewed recently, just to see how it compares. But yeah, my overall impressions of the BLU G91 Pro, this is probably the best BLU phone that I've reviewed. Now the only question is, are they going to be able to keep up with software updates? Because if they could do that, this company could definitely go places.